PBI report of a 7-year tax break to young people who are in business. We are of the view, because we have received a lot of feedback from young people who support ODM, that not all of them are engaged in entrepreneurship. Some of them, many of them are in formal employment. Some of them are in the arts, some of them are in sports. And they say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. The feedback we are getting from our young people is that if it is possible that the same tax break that is extended to young people in entrepreneurship should be extended to even those in employment, those in the arts, and those in sports, so that in the first formative years of your life earning a salary, the government allows you space to be able to make sufficient savings to even get a house, to get a wife, to settle down before they are on your back demanding for taxes. Number two, Mr. Chairman, we also wanted to emphasize on the issue of public debt, because there has been debate on whether what is going on currently is actually acceptable. We want to make it clear that public debt in itself is not necessarily a bad thing. Where it becomes tricky is the reasons why we are borrowing, and if indeed there is the fiscal discipline to follow through with the projects for which you are borrowing. So we want to make it clear that it actually has been the experience of this country that fiscal indiscipline is what has led us to the state in which we are now, that we are stuck with debts for projects that essentially are not able to pay for themselves. So if we strengthen the debt control mechanisms in Parliament especially, that every time that government is going to borrow on a major scale for any particular purpose, the representatives of the people in the National Assembly and in the Senate are given opportunity to okay, and therefore put themselves in a position to be able to closely monitor the implementation of that project. There has also been talk that the proposals contained in your report, especially to do with the structure of the executive, are going to create two centers of power. You will see, Mr. Chairman, in the annexure that we have proposed, we have given to our memorandum, it is very clear there that the president shall be the center of power, that the president shall be the head of state, the head of government, commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, and the chairperson of the National Security Council. What we have proposed here is essentially akin to the model that they have in Tanzania. If you go forward, and you will have opportunity to read our memo, the election of the president will remain direct universal suffrage through a secret ballot conducted in accordance with Articles 136 and 138 of the Constitution. And then there shall be a prime minister. This is the proposal that we've made, who will be appointed from a political party having a majority of members in the National Assembly, or if no political party has a majority, who appears to have the support of a majority of the members of Parliament to be Prime Minister of the Republic, and he shall not assume office until his appointment is first confirmed by a resolution of the National Assembly supported by a majority vote of the members. If you go to the functions of the Prime Minister, he shall have authority over the control, supervision, and execution of the day-to-day functions and affairs of the government of the Republic. The Prime Minister shall be the leader of government business in the National Assembly or Parliament, so that it should be very clear that even the proposals that were contained in the report and the proposals that we're making, there will be no conflict, because there are clear delineation of roles and duties between the Prime Minister and the President. And we believe that that should put to rest the arguments on whether indeed there will be two centers of power. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, I want to add to the sentiments of Honorable Mbadi, that even when we look at the arrangement of letters in the TJRC, the first letter is T. The first letter is T, and is not coincidence. that justice is built on truth and reconciliation is built on justice. So the first step has to be that Kenyans have an honest discussion about the affairs that have bedeviled them from, independence. So let nobody criticize anybody's truth. You have seen Honorable Wako jokes that the truth of a locust in Meru is not the truth of a locust in Bungoma. Because in Bungoma it's a meal, while in Meru it's a nuisance. So we must allow everybody to speak to their truth, and it is only through a process such as that that we will move to justice, that we will move to reconciliation. And sometimes it baffles me when we see people who are in a position to table these reports before the House. They come here and they say implement the TJRC, and yet it was his responsibility as a leader of government business in the House to table these reports. It baffles us. So if we're going to be honest, let us be honest as Kenyans and deliberate on these matters as they are. And I believe that's the only way to find a solution. Lastly, we want to encourage everyone, and to reiterate what my chair has said, ODM honestly believes that this is a consultative give and take, that we will always have an open mind. We believe politics is persuasion. We are not into threats, hostage taking, so that people understand our position. No, we will lay out our vision as we see it, and we will be ready to listen to other people's ideas as well, because this country belongs to all of us. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, SJ. No, I'm actually just returning it to you. I think